First of all, our social studies teacher, Carmen Lucia, gave us and introduced the understanding goals. To learn how the bubonic plague spread throughout Europe in the 14th century, and how it affected its people during the epoch, keeping it in mind the economic, social, political, and cultural effects in order to understand the historical background of the Middle Ages. Then we made a preliminary activity in which we looked at some pictures that show how the bubonic plague affected all the European society, with over 25 million deaths during the pandemic. Here, we use the routine I see, I think, and I wonder to express our thoughts to make them visible in front of the group. Afterwards, we began to develop our understanding performances by first checking out a link suggested by the teacher. In that link, we discovered the social, economic, and cultural effects on the Black Death. We took notes in our notebooks as we made our discoveries, and then we applied the routine described above. Then we opened our world history textbooks and read the story, The Bubonic Plague Strikes, on page 357. Then we did the pair share routine, in which we took note on the idea grasped by the other groups. In order to put our PBL into practice, the teacher split us up into groups in order to debate on bubonic plague caused the Black Death, a pandemic that swept the world in the middle of the 14th century, using the global debate format.
Good morning, 7th grade. We are going to present will be debate the resolution whether bubonic plague caused the Black Death and pandemic that swept the world in the middle of the 14th century, using the global debate format. We have two teams. This team, they think that the bubonic plague is caused by the anthrax, and this team think that the bubonic plague is caused by the fleet of the rats.
The final bell have ranked according to the new study on the bubonic plague, which is caused by a bacteria, also known as Yersinia pestis. In the winter, what's more, the author said,
"We do not agree with the argument of our opponent because we believe it is impossible to think that the bubonic plague was transmitted by fleas because in 1354 were not known even in Europe these animals that arrived."
The team B think that our historical records show that already in 1354 there were fleas in many rudders, especially rats, that were already in Europe.
The summary speech. The team A.
The Black Death was not only one of the greatest disasters in European history, but it was also one of the most defining moments in world history. These scientists suggest the Black Death might have been a combination of pandemics, including a form of anthrax.
Now the summary speech of the team 2.
The team 2 think that the Black Death was spread by the Oriental rat flea, infected with the Yersinia pestis bacterium, which appears as the dark mass in the gut.
Now we are going to present the conclusions. The conclusion of team A is... What is your conclusion?
The possibility that the Black Death was not caused by the bubonic plague alone. Cantor believes a form of cattle disease was involved in addition to the plague, probably anthrax. Anthrax will account for the equal spread of the Black Death in summer and winter months. The major case for anthrax is the spread of the Black Death in Iceland.
Okay. Now team B, what is your conclusion?
So, my conclusion is that the black page is caused by a bacteria called Yersinia pestis. And this is my conclusion. Thank you.
In the favored groups stated that the bubonic plague was caused by a type of spore similar to anthrax, and the against group defended the theory that it was transmitted by the rat fleas that came on ships from Asia. It took time to debate until we reached a conclusion that was based up on modern science. The against team was the winner. They had more convincing arguments. The next step of our project was to make a journal in our notebooks. These journals should describe the lifestyle in 14th century. We chose a few professions: a merchant, farmers, priest, travel guide, physician, or scribe. How we made our final project? We received help from the computer's teacher, who helped us to create an animated version of a potential campaign to treat the epidemic and avoid the pandemic.